All right, YouTube, welcome to the Struggling Day Trader channel. I am your host and resident day trader and also your brother in the struggle. The name is Hassan and I'm here to go over my trades for the day. Well, as you can see, it was a rough day. It was a bad day. And I don't like to blame the market for my bad trades, right? But we're going to start out looking at the SPY today. Okay? So if we look at the daily, let me get this daily window over here a little bit. All right. If we look at the daily, in my opinion, since this top over here, the SPY has been looking very bearish. Since we bumped heads here the second time, it looks like a downtrend to me. Like, it looks like in long term we're going to be trending down for a while. So with that, and me being pretty much an exclusively long trade, not pretty much, I'm absolutely a long trader, it's been rough. I've had days where I'm really feeling like I'm battling the market. I'm basically hunting for relative strength in a weak market, trying to find short-term bullish opportunities to trade. And today felt bullish, right? It felt like I was gonna have some opportunities. Gapped up in pre-market over previous day's close and pretty much trended up in pre-market. And when we open up high, extended from VWAP in pre-market, I'm expecting, a pullback in the beginning, pull back to VWAP. Then we go up and trade the high from the opening candle, come back down to VWAP and make a higher low. And then stay above VWAP. Like, this looks great, right? I'm comfortable taking longs in this scenario. But at 10:02, this candle right here, at 10:02, everything changed. Let's check it out. Microsoft. Pretty much same situation, right? Gapped up over previous day's close, pretty much uptrend all pre-market and downtrend back, which was pretty aggressive. This is a pretty aggressive pullback. But we get right. This is a pullback to the whole dollar, just barely through 424. And then we have a nice bounce up, trade up above VWAP, come back, make a higher low. Feeling pretty decent about this. So I take a long. And it's going really well. It comes back here and tests the high from the opening candle. Pulls back, a nice shallow pullback, 2 red bars, hammer candle. Looks like a great place to add. I'm a little late to the add on this. I'll definitely admit to that. But all I wanted to do was get to 427, which is right here. This got up to 426.82. My take profit was at 426.97. So 15 cents away from my take profit. And at 10:02, the market just fell, like free falled almost. And I'm always trying to find responsibility for my trades. So I'm having a hard time blaming myself for this stop out. I am blaming myself for the amount of money I lost. What happened was, when I got in here, my stop loss was under this candle and it was $25. Like, my stop was $25. I share size appropriately so that my stop, if I get stopped out, is 1R, which is $25 for me. When I added, I was so confident that it was going to go to my target that I didn't do anything to readjust my stop loss. Usually when I add, I recalculate my stop so that it is still 1R, and I put in a new stop with my new share size included. I didn't do any of that. I left my stop where it was, and I wasn't even really tripping on it because it was going so well. I was looking at my other trades. So when the market fell, like these are big candles, like it fell. And by the time I got over here, I had to cancel out my orders. And then I marketed out. And by the time I was able to do that, I was down 65.45, like well over 2R. And all of these trades pretty much stopped out at the same time. So I actually took these notes already. For Meta, I would grade this a C setup. This is the reason it's a C setup is because it's below this opening range, but it's above the lower side of the range. It tested that, and normally when the first bar is red, I feel like the main support is at the bottom of the bar instead of the top. But I pretty much pay attention to both the top and bottom side of these open range candles. So it traded above and retested that same level, and then continued up. So to me, this is an acceptable setup, but I gave it a C because we have a higher low at VWAP plus lower HVS. My problem with this trade was not managing risk. These type of drops happen in the market. It just happens. It's okay. But you have to manage risk at all times. There's never a time, I feel so good about this going. Like I was positive that I was getting ready to go to target. I was already celebrating in my mind. But as you can see, things can get ugly very fast. And I gotta admit, like this is unacceptable for me to be down $150 on 3 trades. It should have been 75. Like I deleted my last week and then some. I only traded 3 days last week. I was up like $113 at the end of the week. And now I'm in the hole from last week and this week. So terrible managing of risk. Let's check out MU. MU pretty much same situation. Gapped up, uptrending in pre-market, pulled back at the open, traded way above the opening and pre-market high, pulled back to VWAP through a nice hammer candle. I get in. It's looking great. All I need is 2R, which is not even up to the high. I actually didn't share size enough. I only had, I think, 50 shares or 45 shares, something like that. Something way too small. I should have had 100 shares on this setup because this candle's 25 cents. Wait, hold on. No. Yeah, I should have had 100 shares. So if had I had 100 shares and got in 1 penny over this, that would have been 94. I would have been looking to get out at 44. This thing went up to 42. So it would have been 2 cents shy of my take profit, assuming I didn't get any slippage. But yeah, what's this candle? 10:02. 10:02, everything changed and the market just fell. So yeah, but with this one, I did have my stop loss correctly at $25. So I only lost 1R on this trade. I'm totally fine with that. This setup to me was a grade B setup, and it just didn't work because of the market. And that's okay. It happens. Risk was managed on this trade. It's 1R loss. No big deal. Meta. Pretty much same situation as all the other ones. Gapped up in pre-market, uptrending, pre-market, pull back at the open. Traded back above VWAP, made a higher high right here, higher low, hammer bar. I'm getting in that one every time. And 10:02, it went all bad. 10:02, it went all bad. So, and this one again, I added here. I didn't realize what was happening at 10:02 at this point because Meta seemed like it wanted to hold up. Made another hammer candle, higher low hammer candle right here. Looked like a great ad. Went up enough to trigger me into the trade, to the ad, but I did not adjust my stop loss. And by the time I got out of the trade, down over 2R again. So, man, I've had a lot of cool people come by and give me their input and give me their advice. A lot of traders who are way more experienced than me. And I do feel like I have a lot to learn about the bigger picture of the market. Again, being a long trader in an environment where the market is pretty much bearish and downtrending, like I'm looking for small windows of bullish opportunities, bullish moves. And I think I mean, most of the people who come in don't really know my strategy. They just see me going long in a bearish market and it looks crazy. But generally, if I don't break my rules, my trades work out most of the time. Most of my trades that fail are rule breaks. But on days like today, when the market just crashes, I mean, it just happens. But I still feel good about my strategy. Today was just rough. I do want to pay a little more attention to overall market sentiment. Maybe there are times where I should, even when things look like bullish setups, if the overall sentiment is bearish, like extremely bearish on that day, it is probably a good time to stay out of the market. But I'm still kind of figuring that out. Some setups I just have to take, and this setup to me is a great setup. But I mean, when the market's crashing, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? And there were some stocks that didn't fall when the market did. The Apple, for example. Apple held up at 10.02. It didn't fall. The Apple at 10.02 was still trading up, green bars, So there are bullish opportunities, and that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for the price action and the holding of support, the holding of VWAP, and looking for opportunities for a small move up. I'm not looking to hold for all the rest of the day or anything like that. I'm just looking for little pops. And I actually called this pop on the live stream because I can just, you can recognize it. You can recognize it. Like it's testing VWAP, and then we get a break above and a narrow range bar at VWAP. I called this trade, but I was stopped out for the day, so I couldn't take it, of course. But the market is predictable to an extent, and I believe in my strategy, and I know I have to prove it to you guys. All you guys have seen is inconsistency, but the majority of the inconsistency has been me following the strategy. Not that the strategy is inconsistent, but that I am inconsistent in implementing it. And I feel like that's a very common struggle amongst newer traders. And that's why I named the channel Struggling Day Trader. I think a lot of people can relate to that. And that's why I go over my struggles and journal in front of my followers, my subscribers, to kind of show the thought processes that I'm going through and me trying to make adjustments to my mistakes. But yeah, just a disappointing day as far as risk being managed. Had all three of these stopped out at $25 and I would have been $75. I wouldn't have been mad. Like, hey man, it was just a tough day on the market. The market fell, and I'm glad I have my stops in place to protect my capital. But I did not today. I was reckless. I was arrogant, dare I say. And lessons were learned. So this will hopefully make I mean, risk management is kind of my thing. Like over all my trades, my batting average kind of sucks, but my risk, my overall, like if I look at all my trades from January to now, my average loss is less than $25, and my average win is $67. So managing the trade is my thing. It's just discernment that I struggle with and sticking to the rules. But I've definitely been making progress these last couple of weeks, and it's really disappointed I didn't get to. I feel like today was about to be 3 hitters. Like these were hitters, man. If the SPY would have just consolidated sideways for another 10 minutes, I think all 3 of these would have hit. But neither here nor there. It is what it was. And Just gotta be very cautious and try to dig out of the hole this week, and hopefully I'll be able to end on top. Appreciate you guys stopping by. Still, you can drop your suggestions in the. I'm not doing this to gather suggestions, but I do appreciate you experienced traders giving me your ideas and your thoughts. I'm definitely not too prideful to take those and think over those and take what I feel like will benefit me in my path. And appreciate you guys. Please hit that like button. I'll be streaming again tomorrow morning and every market open. Start my stream around 9:20 market time. Hit that subscribe and come hang out with me. See you guys next time. Peace.